What's up, guys? It's that guy with the pencil, and let's get into it. Why haven't I done this already? Oh yeah, because editing this is going to be a real pain. Heh, yay. Anyway, yeah, Akatsuki from Naruto versus the Ten Commandments from Seven Deadly Sins. I'll do this again, cut straight to the chase. The Ten Commandments wash the Akatsuki. That's it, video done. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, and be sure to subscribe. It's that guy with the pencil, writing off. Okay, I'm kidding. But you realize Eldris alone could possibly solo the Akatsuki, right? That'll be another video, I'll admit, but if we take the primes of all these characters while they were in organization, the Akatsuki, you got peak Kisame with Samehada, healthy Itachi, peak Deidara, peak Sasori, peak Hidan, All Hearts Kakuzu, peak Konan, peak Pains, healthy Nagato, and Orange Mask Obito. For the Commandments lineup, you got Commandment Droll, Commandment Gloxinia, pre-burn Melascula, honestly any Great Road before death, a full power Fraudron, prime Pascal, and Derriere and Mon Speed with all 7 hearts, and a stable Estarossa, along with the Commandment fueled Demon King's power fueled Zeldris. So let's break it all the way down. This is going to be a whole rehash of my last video. So let's go over the most controversial thing from it, at least to myself, being speed. Alright, so I'm wondering if I really lowballed the Akatsuki speed-wise, and to a degree, I did. I'll admit, I chose to not utilize the light-speed meta, since it only really applied to 3 Akatsuki members, and this light-speed meta for Naruto is shaky at best, extremely unstable at worst, at least in my view, but whatever. Let's use it, we're giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. Light-speed meta's main point for Naruto is the data book stating things like Daruy's Laser Circus and Raikage's max speed are light speed. So the reason I do not like the light meta and have a difficult time accepting it is because of the whole Zetsu, the creator of the verse, being shocked by lightning in the Itachi vs Sasuke fight. Sasuke thinking lightning was enough to kill Itachi, Madara using a light-based attack on a character like Naruto, who's way stronger and faster than characters like Raikage and Darui, and Raikage only directly saying they have gone max speed against a fully focused max speed amped Naruto, and other data book statements saying Raikage's max movement is lightning speed. However, it is a meta that I must respect, so I will, when applicable. It only applies directly to Obito, kind of for Itachi, and kind of for Nagito. Allow me to explain the rest of the Akatsuki speed, and honestly why they don't scale up that high. Deidara legitimately said that Heavy Sasuke was moving too fast for him. This Sasuke is even before Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke, and Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke couldn't even react to a casual killer B. Not to talk about full power max speed Raikage, who a dual Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke couldn't even fully react to confidently. It'd be hard to say that Deidara, a person who struggled to keep up with a pre-Itachi fight Sasuke, scales anywhere near light with those facts. Sasori, while admittedly holding back in Sad, was beaten by Chiu and Sakura. Have we seen his full power? No. Does it mean we wank him the light speed? No. At least not for me. I won't. I'll tell you that. Deidara did flat out say Sasori was stronger than him, and Deidara is the most arrogant person on the planet, so this is probably true, so he's faster than Deidara. Still not the best speed-wise though, unless you Ludo wank him. Regardless of how high you want to wank him, he scales lower than Itachi, Tendo Pain, Nagito, and Kisame, so at best he's relativistic. Konan was sadly beaten by Obito the moment she was taken seriously, and she was weaker than the Pains, and the Pains are only scalable to Sage Naruto, and that's really only the Diva Path, and the Diva Path got beat by Six-Tailed Naruto, who was weaker than KCM1 Naruto, who was light speed when pushing himself to the max, scaling off the Raikage. Back to Konan, specifically, yeah, Obito's lightspeed reaction combat-wise, I'll give you that, but Obito was not taking Konan seriously in the beginning of the fight, which is why the brilliant tactician Obito was caught off guard twice, and even then, he managed to survive both by outplaying Konan and dominating her the moment he took her seriously and ran her through with a pole. Hidan was able to lose to Asuma. Asuma. Alright, not to downplay Asuma, but he's not Raikage or KCM1 level, alright? That's really it. Hidan didn't get stronger either, so he's still weak. He then lost to Shikamaru, and if you want to say Shikamaru is lightspeed, no. Kakuzu got blitzed by pre-war Kakashi and could not avoid Naruto carrying a gigantic Rasen Shuriken. This was a base Naruto. No Sage Mode, no KCM, pre-war. If you're gonna look me in the eyes and dare say that base Naruto pre-war is lightspeed, I'm gonna have to politely disagree with your opinion. He is not. Kisame scales to Itachi and 7th Gate Guy just below both of them, and directly to B. He's relativistic if you want to wank him, benefit of the doubt, so sure, let's go. Relativistic Kisame. You know what? Even if you want to say he's lightspeed, go ahead. Lightspeed Kisame. Pains range from Konohamaru speed to Six-Tail speed. Not light speed, nowhere near it, but the Diva Path does scale higher than Kisame, so relativistic or light speed. Sure, fine with that. Itachi is weird scaling-wise, at least in terms of speed. A lot of people tend to scale him directly after Raikage with his fight with Naruto, but to be completely honest, that scaling is a bit weird. Naruto and Itachi were casually chatting as they were trading blows. Someone once described it to me as high-level patty cake, and that's pretty accurate. KCM Naruto only dodged max power Raikage once, when he was absolutely focused and fresh with KCM. After this, Naruto goes to produce multiple powerful KCM clones and is extremely tired, showing one right after the Itachi Nagato fight. He loses KCM when he tries to make a singular clone. Take this on with the fact that he wanted to fight neither of them, and the fact that two were casually chatting, and the fact that Naruto never even bothered to use his multiple arms or Rasen Shuriken against Itachi. Seems like Naruto was holding back and not going all out. For the back my point of Itachi being being slower than KCM Naruto, well, B is slower than KCM Naruto in a max speed Raikage, but he was able to react to and catch Itachi off guard. That's the same Itachi that's supposedly as fast as a max power KCM Naruto. In my honest opinion, based off the facts that's given to us, he's not. He's relative, at best, but more so a match for B. But sure, we'll give Itachi the benefit of the doubt. Itachi is light speed, scaling earthly from the data book statement Raikage, and even more. Since I've seen multiple people claim this, even though I don't really care and don't really mind, sure, let's say Itachi is 73 times faster than light. Naruto scales to Itachi, and even though he's able to be blitzed by Itachi at the end of their fight, let's make it the same. Sure, Nagato is 73 times the speed of light and higher. Let's go with that. Nagato also scales to be in Naruto, pretty easily would have beaten them without Itachi, so Nagato scales above 3 light speedish characters. Alright, there we go. Now it's time for the 7 Deadly Sins light meta. The 7 Deadly Sins light meta is based on Gother, specifically Gother's ability, invasion, and the arrows he uses. These things are light constructs. They act like light, are designed as light arrows. He has multiple techniques named with light, like read, write light, and search light. They are fired as a light beam from another beam of light. So this means that anyone who is able to dodge such constructs and combat them are also light speed. So, going with the most logical, a beginning of series Shrunken Diane was able to dodge those light beams rather casually before she could even incorporate a better dodging style. Let me tell you, every last commandment, even the weakest, is many times faster than already light speed mini Diane. However, I don't even like using the 7 Deadly Sins light meta. It allowed me to explain regular meta speed scaling alongside how fast the commandments would be with the light speed meta. Alright, let's go. Gloxinia, Mad-Lad, let's explain. So, Gloxinia scales in the same tier as Droll. Both of them, for a time, were strong and fast enough to keep up with True Form Chandler. True Form Chandler is superior to Cusack, who's able to keep up with Ludishell easily. Ludishell is light speed. I wouldn't personally say that Droll and Gloxinia are light speed, more so relativistic, as Chandler was able to handle them after a time when he couldn't instantly put down Merlin, Escanor, or Ludishell. In the light meta, around 50 times stronger than Small Diane pure numbers-wise, more like over 100 times scaling to his best fights. Roger is actually pretty slow. He's not that strong at all. He's the weakest commandment, nearly beaten by half-power clone of Meliodas, but he's still much faster than Lightning. Lastly, Hypersonic Plus casually, as he scales many times higher than beginning series Guild Thunder and Meliodas, both Lightning timers. However, if you want to scale McGowan, who's able to react to and fight with relativistic Archangels, go ahead. I personally don't stop you. In light meta, around 30 times light speed, based off of the fight with Meliodas' clone. Grey Road scales below Merlin and above base Gallon. Merlin was able to react to and avoid Ominous Nebula, an attack confirmed beyond light speed, and she did absolutely dominate Grey Road, no question, so I just put Grey Road in the many times fast and lightning range speed-wise. I could argue her being relativistic, since Merlin is faster than light by a decent margin, but I'm not gonna. In the light meta, 28 times pure numbers-wise, and a really wide range generally, but he's able to tag Demon Mark post-druid Meliodas, so that puts him around 47 times faster than light. Once again, going off pure numbers that we were given by the author himself. Lascula pretty easily avoids an amped bond, is able to catch up mid-morning Escanor off guard, is superior to all the beginning series since casually, has magic way greater than even initial True Spirit King, and she was able to react to all of the sins minus Meliodas, ganging up on her for a short while. However, there is nothing to really scale to relativistic or light speed, so she's also in the many times fast in light range, unless you really want to wank her off for blitzing Escanor. In the light meta, 33 times using pure numbers, 50 times and higher if you want to wake her to Escanor, for blitzing them in their initial encounter. Gallon is actually a weird character speed scaling wise, because he was able to fight on par with Archangels who scale to Ludishell, whose light speed bare minimum. However, he's on the weaker side of the commandments, even in critical over, so his fight speaks more to his other strength than his speed, so probably just many times faster than Lightning, possibly new relativistic. In light speed meta though, he's 27 times faster pure numbers wise, and if you really want to put him at Archangel terms of speed, 73 times in critical over, lower in base. Derriere and Mon-Speed are extremely relative to one another in terms of speed and strength. They're actually going to compete with Archangels, are superior to Demon Mark, Post-Druid, Meliodas, but this is only in base. If we're talking about their true peak states, they dominate the Archangels in terms of speed, making them easily light speed, if not greater, because of how Endura Derriere blitzes the true body Ludishell casually. Also, Mon-Speed casually blitzes two other Archangels in Tarmiel and Sariel in their true bodies, and it's likely that Mon-Speed is actually stronger and faster than Derriere in his Endura form as well, so easily fast and light, if not by a decent margin. In base, for the light meta, going off raw numbers, around 50 times faster for both. Well amped, it's possible that they're over 400 times fast and light, scaling off of Astral Body Ludishell, who scales higher than a Crisis Amped Original Demon, and True Body Ludishell is even stronger than his Astral Body form, since his Astral Body is just his soul, and the Original Demon had a power level, even before the Crisis Amp, of around 341,000. So yeah, around 400 times fast and light when they're in their Endura states. Estarossa is actually very fast, being stronger than Post-Druid Demon Mark Meliodas, being practically second strongest commandment in base, being able to react to and fight Escanor for a bit close to noon. This Estarossa is also able to catch this Escanor off guard, and this same Estarossa, after being restored post-Escanor fight, was able to keep up with a series of others as both tried to kill Meliodas on the spot. However, both were handled rather easily. Estarosa's speed scaling is weird. He could just stay in the main times faster than lightning, or he could be light speed. I'm leaning more towards light speed just because of how he was exactly on par with Zeldris, who matches the light speed Ludishell pretty casually. Also, Estarosa is stronger than base Speed and Derriere, who are both relativistic even in base, scaling up their fight with the Prime Archangels in their true bodies. Estarosa is a monster speed-wise. I'm not even using the strongest version of Estarosa, but where unstable Estarosa is able to casually handle multiple Archangels, a Commandment, and a Post-Training King all at once. Or we go all the way to 4 Commandment Mael, who is Estarosa, easily fast and light. But I'm not. Base, Demon Mark Estarosa, since that's the version of him with the 10 Commandments. Zeldris. I have a whole video on Zeldris vs Nagato. Go watch that and understand why Zeldris is easily light speed and regular Demon Mark at much faster than second level Demon Mark without this Nebula. The show literally states that he is faster than light. I don't know what you want from me. Zeldris in base Demon Mark matches a light speed character who then surpasses the light speed character when at full power. Now, let's go. Power wise. Okay, the Akatsuki, like I said before, pretty strong. However, the strongest attack is Dangerous C0, a small country level attack using the whole crater. I've actually seen some country level counts for Nagato's Shibaku Tensei, and sure, fine. A lot of people like the Akatsuki as much as they want to. I honestly couldn't care because of a few characters in the 10 Commandments and their abilities. For the rest of the Akatsuki, no one can really scale up that high. I mean, one can scale Itachi directly to Nagato since they seem about relative base of their fight, even though in raw power, it's doubtful that Itachi is an actual match due to their chakra and technique differences. Orange Mask Obito probably does scale to Itachi. He just has no true large-scale attacks like Itachi does with Yasuke Magatama. Kisame believes that he's weaker than Itachi, and he's right. He also got beat by an island level Might guy. So there we go. Island level Kisame. Kakuzu actually scales beneath Kisame, as Kisame is able to survive 7th Gate Guy, who's superior to pre-war Kakashi that Kakuzu fought and practically tied with until instantly died in Naruto. So that's what he fought and lost to Shio and Lady Sakura. And although suppressed, it doesn't really speak well to his attack potency. He doesn't scale higher than Datara and raw destructive power, and it's more like he's just a better fighter. Neon is Asuma level, nowhere near top tier strength-wise. Kodan 6 billion paper bomb motion is very impressive, but only in the sense that it causes explosions all of a 10-minute time period. She's not that powerful either. She scales way beneath the paths of pain, and the pain scale from Konohamaru to Sage Naruto, but beneath the six-tailed Naruto in terms of raw power, except for the chaotic Shimmer Tensei and Shibaku Tensei. So the Akatsuki ranges from town level to country level. Pretty impressive. Now, for the commandments. They're extremely powerful, many ranging from island level all the way up to a large country, if not continental. The weakest of them all is Fraudrin, because he was strong enough to compete with a clone of Meliodas that is barely weaker than a post-druid base Meliodas, a character that was able to casually dominate a base no magic Gallon. This post-druid Meliodas is an island level being many times stronger than his beginning of series mountain level self, and Fraudrin did manage to almost best the clone. Fraudrin is island level. The next weakest commandment is Gallon, who actually is also an island level threat in modern times of the series. He actually does scale higher around large island level to near country level in his prime pass state, even in base, where he was able to blitz and cut in half Tarmiel, a country level Archangel character, rather easily. He also takes an attack from Tarmiel, activates critical over to buff himself, and slams the attack down from Tarmiel down on Sariel. However, it's likely that Gallon is still weaker than Tarmiel, so at best, he scales to small country level. That skill is also in the island level tier, but a lot of her strength comes from magic and hacks rather than overall physical might. However, she does have a more physically suited combat form in her original giant snake form. She scales around a present-day Gallon, but not a frontline combatant. Similar case to Grey Road, who rather than being a true physical fighter, she's more of a hacks-based combatant. However, her strength is above all beginning of series sins, and her magic is also superior to all of the beginning of series sins. Gloxinius is superior to Gallon rather casually, fought rather on par with the Demon Mark poster in Meliodas, and managed to fight Chandler for a while with Droll for long enough that the sins could get away. Gloxinia is rather strong around the small country level tiers of raw power. Droll's in a similar boat, being extremely relative to Gloxinia, and being the other person who can fight nearly on par with Meliodas after being massively damaged and caught off guard by Escanor. Droll can also amp himself with his own dance to make himself even stronger, possibly even country level depending on how much of an amp you could possibly receive. He was confident he could take on Zeldris post-dancing in Diane's body if that was any evidence, but that is some wank, so I'll leave that be. And some real high-tier commandments, you have base 1 speed and Derriere. Derriere is constantly able to damage a country-level Tarmiel with relative ease, landing multiple unanswered shots to the face. She was also able to punch through Sariel's barrier and pierce through his eye with only her bone. She's also able to damage 3 Commandment Mael pretty easily once he's being held down. The show once again does stand above her though, so much so that she needed to transform. So once again, I'd be confident in saying Derriere is confirmed small country-level base based off of scaling. Same case for Mom Speed, who is able to catch Sariel off guard, catch it both through Tarmiel's head with darkness, and is generally relative if not superior to Estarosa. However, once they transform into Endura, they go way higher than they did before. Derriere alone was able to dominate and blitz Ludishell in his real body, who scales directly to a Crisis Hand original demon without his real body in his astral form. So where's that put the Endura form Derriere? Honestly, up in the continental tiers of power. The original demon is many times stronger than Tarmiel, who is country level, and the astral form Ludishell is superior to the base original demon, and a match for the Crisis Hand original demon. then the actual body Luda Shell is superior to his astral body self, making him legitimately superior to a Crisis and original demon. And then Derriere was able to dominate that Prime Luda Shell in her Endurer form. Basically, she's at a bare minimum large country level and more likely continental. Speed directly scales to this, as he and Derriere are relative in power, and he easily dominated and blitzed the other two Archangels. And this was when he was freshly transformed, so they'd only get stronger with time. Moving on to Estarossa, he is stronger than Speed and Derriere base to base, and he was completely fine fighting both of them at once. He forced Speed to reveal his special ability, and ultimately died to Estarossa because even when Speed was holding Estarossa back, he was going to kill Derriere. Even in base Demon Mark, Estarossa is crazy. Also based on how the two reacted to Assault Melios dropping the hammer on them, with his darkness, Estarossa is actually superior to base Demon Mark Zeldris. Base Demon Mark Zeldris is comparable to Marker by Ludashell, Late Morning Escanor, Merlin, and Transformed Cusack and Chandler. This means that Estarossa is around those levels, and all those characters mentioned range from country level to small continental. So Estarossa is in those tiers of raw power. Zeldris is an absolute beast, as once he goes all out in its prime state, he stands on even grounds with the Sunshine and Mael, a full Wings King, and stands above both Escanor and the Crisis and original demon. And he performed those feats without his commandment buff, so stack that on there too. Full power Zeldris is large country level as a low ball, and typically continental. So, to summarize, speed-wise, I'd use the light meta for both series, so a majority of the commandments are faster than a majority of the Akatsuki. Hibu scale light speed, Raikage, Aritachi, Nagato, and Obizo. However, using the light meta for 7 deadly sins, all the commandments scale tens of times faster than light, if not more in some cases. Even with regular scaling, Endura, Speed, and Derriere, along with Estarossa and Demon Mark Zeldris, are light speed or beyond. All in all, the two verses are actually pretty relative speed-wise if you ignore a few things. Power-wise, I'm not going to lie to you, all the Akatsuki are outdone. Seriously, all around. The weaker members of the Akatsuki are nothing to the weakest members of the Ten Commandments. Roger could easily take out a majority of the Akatsuki, stopping at Kisame at worst. In the strongest Ten Commandment, full power Zeldris with piety vaporizes the majority of the Akatsuki. Even if you want to make Nagato country level, Zeldris can casually slap a country level character in Tarmiel and base Demon Mark. So this isn't really a problem. However, what about hacks? Can hacks save the Akatsuki? No. Heathen's Joshian ritual is once again a whole joke. He's not slicing any of the commandments with his scythe. Slicing them will require hitting them, and he is not hitting them in any way, shape, or form. Even if you want to claim that, unlike with the sins, they don't have a dull go through, and thusly they could be susceptible to it, he would not get all 10 of them for one. Demons do have multiple hearts, so he don't stab himself once, and the commandments would shrug it off. If it really gets that bad, Zeldris activates Omnis Nebula and yanks Hedon right out of the ritual circle. Moving on from that, Sasori's poisoned. Gloxinia has his acid just like King does, and most likely an even better control over it than pre- and even post-training King, so he'd be able to easily weaken the poison down to the moment it even came close to being a problem. For the poison-nicked weapons, it'd be pretty much impossible for the weapons to actually cut open any of the Ten Commandments. For the gas, once again, Gloxinia could just control it. The commandments could just move away like the Akatsuki would from such a dangerous cloud of gas. They could also just hold their breath and run. The poison isn't that effective. And by run, I mean fly off. It's seriously that simple. All of them have the ability to spawn wings and fly away. Then you have Kona's Paper Bomb motion, which required setup. Here's the thing though. All the commandments can fly easily. 1 second they spawn wings and dodge the attack. It's pretty pointless. Seriously, it's pretty sad. Just the fact that Obito can't fly that made this technique dangerous. Data's microscopic bombs. The commandments can sense magic, and they sense such a high concentration of magic floating towards them. For some reason, I didn't think of this in the last video, but a character like Speed, Estarossa, or Zeldris could just drop a gigantic wave of Hellblaze to detonate or destroy the microscopic bombs. Also, since the bombs attack on the cellular level, demons can just regenerate. Demons must also be attacked on the molecular level in order to prevent regeneration, according to the Archangels. And even then, Estarossa managed to live through their attack, so they need even more damage. Also, they can just fly up and away, just like Deidara himself did. Kisame, he's strong, undoubtedly, but his hacks aren't really that good. With Samehada and his water release, Great Shark Bolt Jutsu, Kisame can absorb chakra. However, he and Samehada do have a limit, yada yada yada, wasn't going to be able to absorb all of B's version 2 chakra. B does not know nowhere near amount the same amount of chakra in the series, yada yada yada. And even if his jutsu can endlessly expand for all the magic it absorbs, Zeldris could literally just stand there and null it. The Ten Commandments wouldn't just fire wildly into the attack either. They'd stop once they noticed it was absorbing their magic attacks. For the gigantic lake, you have 3 powerful demons that can conjure Hellblaze on command, which would vaporize it. Also, Joel could just counter-terraform the lake with his own earth manipulation. He made an 8-mile labyrinth, he can stop a lake. Also, the commandments could just fly to avoid it. Prey Path and Nagato absorbing magic attacks and buffing themselves. Who's most likely to feed the Prey Path and Nagato? I mean, there are 3 Hellblaze users, especially Speed, and it kind of stops there. No, not kidding, it really does stop there, because the commandments use even less energy-based attacks than the 7 deadly sins. Even if Nagito were to get lucky, and Zeldris, in a sheer feat of absolute stupidity, stands there and lets Nagito absorb all of Omnis Nebula, or Estarossa throws out a whole Black Hound, or Monty releases an entire Hellblaze bird, all the other Akatsuki members are dead at that point, except maybe Obito in that world. And not gonna lie, a max power Zeldris backed by 9 other hack-based commandments can take on above Nagato and Praetor Path, especially since all Nagato's chakra-based attacks still won't work on Zeldris. Soul stealing by the human path and Nagato. It's not gonna happen, I'm sorry. People can Viking their souls stolen in both verses. Everyone is drastically superior to the human path, and the top commandment members are superior to Nagato in strength and speed. If anything, soul stealing by the commandments would be far more likely and dangerous, and it's actually common for the demons to just tap a guy and eat a soul in comparison to Meliodas, who wouldn't use it normally. Soul Dragon is a joke, and it is easily being dodged, which is taken by Zeldris. The Asura Path? Nope. None of the attacks are strong enough to damage any of the commandments. Zeldris' case, he could once again just stand there and nothing would happen. Naraka Path and Nagato may be annoying. If he keeps reviving the Akatsuki, the Ten Commandments will just get annoyed and take on Nagato and the Naraka Path directly, which the Naraka Path wouldn't be able to stop, and Nagato wouldn't be able to handle if the stronger ones came after him. The Animal Path is also a joke. Hellblaze away. Not even kidding. 3 powerful Hellblaze users just waiting to throw it out at charging animals. The Diva Path is annoying, but Shinra Tensei can be handled by Zeldris, who wouldn't be affected. Also, majority of the commandments would just sit there and take it. It's all too powerful, even when chaotic. For the Chibaku Tensei, it's an interesting situation, but Zeldris, Estarossa, Von Speed, Klaxenia, and Joel all start attacking the core, or just rush Nagato, then the attack is taken care of. Zeldris also would not be pulled in by the gravity of the spear. Same for any universal pull stuff, Zeldris will be able to handle it, and Nagato's Diva Path may display themselves and get themselves chopped in half and defeated. Now we're getting problematic. For Itachi and Genjutsu, it's strange. Very strange. So strange, in fact, I'm not sure how the modern commandments would handle it. Seriously, Zeldris once again may not just not be affected because of the Demon King's power. Zeldris also has some mental manipulation skills himself, being able to affect Merlin from miles away pretty casually and leave her mind trapped in a state of eternal darkness. However, regardless of that, Genjutsu would be affected by most of the commandments. None of them have displayed mental manipulation resistance, and it would be strange to just scale off spirit power levels and such, and claim that all of them would, with a higher spirit level than beginning series Meliodas, would be fighting against Itachi. It would not work like that for them, so Itachi gets a few freebies until he hits a wall against Zeldris. Also, Tsukiyomi would be very dangerous, but I bring up the point that whatever regular torture that Itachi could think up, just like he did with Kakashi, it wouldn't really bother the commandments. All of them can live for 1,000 years, and in the case of Joel and Gloxinia, even longer. Their durability is much higher than some swords getting stabbed into them. Even if you want to say that Itachi would know the durability in Tsukiyomi world, the demon, once he got back to the real world, would be a bit confused, just reading whatever damage they thought they had, and then murder Itachi since they were tortured. Before living their whole life in a picosecond thing, like I mentioned, all the commandments outstrip Itachi's typical conventions of age, and thusly he would be often focusing the Genjutsu in a time period of maybe 60 to 100 years, and fail to kill them. Tsukiyomi is also a few trick pony, as it takes large amounts of chakra to use. It wouldn't work for him to have to hit all 10 commandments with Tsukuyomi and not die in the middle of a massive firefight between island level up characters who rupture the ground for miles by simply swinging their weapons around. Amaterasu. The demons may actually laugh at it because it's just a weaker version of their Hellblaze. They could dodge it if they felt like it, block it, or glob it away with their dark matter manipulation, or others can just stand in the front of a commandment and take the attack for them. I don't think they can stop it either, I just believe they don't care about it. Obito is the biggest problem once again because of Kamui. However, this is where the issue of multiple fighters comes into effect. If Obito tags someone and drags them away to Kamui land, the commandment is just going to sit there and be confused until Obito pops a part of his body in the dimension, then they attack the new thing on sight, extremely damaging the body part. It wouldn't work out for Obito. Also, if he warps off the body part, the commandment can still control that body part. Demon Blood and Hendrickson could still control his body parts, not to talk of fully powerful demons. The top commandments could just fly swat Obito away when he materializes to grab them, as all of them can sense magic and have their reaction speed. Now, I'm going to address Izanagi and Izanami together here, since both Obito and Itachi could use it. For Izanagi, both only have 4 tries, and there are 10 commandments. It'll be the Danzo situation all over again. The commandments will just keep killing them until they went blind. Uchiha only has 2 tries themselves, and the moment they try to use their second try, they are blind and lose their Mangekyo Sharingan, both of them. The only thing that would keep them remotely in the fight. For Izanami, Itachi and Obito would have to control the fight against who they are fighting, and the chances of that happening are extremely low. Either they get one shot and forced to use Izanagi, or they just barely avoid one attack and die before they can repeat the action to start the loop. Even if a commandment gets trapped, if it's not Zeldris can just steal the magic or chakra that's keeping the loop going. Or any commandment not trapped, noticing one of their own and just standing there blankly, will attack Itachi or Obito and attempt to free their comrade. Commandment time. Now, I mentioned that the Akatsuki may not be able to fight in this battle because of the commandments. No, not the characters, the curses. So, I'll get the weaker hexes and curses out of the way, such as Gallon of Truth. So, Gallon's command is very powerful. If you lie or he lies in his presence, you'll be turned to stone. However, like I said with the Naraka Path, I doubt any of the Akatsuki or the commandments will be lying in the middle of an intense fight. However, Galen does have some basic demonic hacks that just come with the species. He can extract souls with a touch or from a distance with incantations. He can easily access dark matter that supports strong regeneration and allows him to easily recover from being bisected, increase his defense, and create weapons. He can also massively buff his power with critical over, and has access to basic telepathy. There is little the Akatsuki can really do to counter much of this, other than Itachi blocking attacks with his Susanoo and Yadamir, and Nagato maybe being able to fight the soul stealing. The Pains would also be unaffected by soul stealing as well. The Narakapath and Nagato would absorb the dark matter. Gald is much more of a physical fighter. Melaskiel is much more hack based, and she's actually rather weak physically in her humanoid form. However, she has great uses of dark matter with various techniques based on it. She has techniques known as Cocoon of Darkness, which can trap and contain characters as strong as Testarossa, a post-resurrection demon Mark Meliodas, and even Zeldris when not using the Demon King's power. None of the commandments could bust out of it according to her, and Zeldris had to counter her hacks with another hacks. Not only that, the angrier or more negative emotions someone has while inside the cocoon, the stronger it makes whatever soldier she revives. By the way, she can revive the dead, as long as they still have regrets in life. This isn't just skeletons, there are stronger bodies that can be revived, including powerful warriors such as Holy Knight Zaratros. Lasky is also extremely well suited to creating portals for various purposes. She can open them to get from place to place, summoning weaker level demons from the demon world, and create a constant dimensional distortion that keeps out others from an area. This, on top of her ability to cast illusions powerful enough to throw off high level magic users, they can be used to trigger her commandment, both the warriors and the illusions. Commandment faith is rather simple. If you lose faith in something in her presence, your eyes burn out. It may not kill, but at bare minimum it renders someone blind. She can also fly, regenerate, form weapons like all the demons. She also has access to the Soul Seal Touch, which she uses in combination with the Cocoon of Darkness, something that she has full control over, where she eats the soul to get stronger. In her true form, she's strong enough to restrain Bond and has an acid that can prevent Bond from regenerating efficiently. Melaskiel is pretty strong hacks-wise. Gloxinia is a weird combination of many things that makes him extremely powerful and at the same time not all too threatening. So, Gloxinia is inherently a fairy, not actually a demon, so he doesn't have his own built-in regeneration. Instead, he utilizes the Spirit Sphere, his fairy biology, and even goddess magic. So, his primary weapon, the Spirit Spear Basquias, has many shown forms. The first form of the Spirit Spear was fast enough to completely catch a post-druid Meliodas off guard, and upon contact creates a gigantic explosion. Form 2 is a massive wasp-like guardian, which can use necrosis in a person's body where it stabs and renders those limbs useless after impalement. Form 5 is the Yggdra armor, where the spear becomes a durable enough armor that is able to amp Gloxinia's normal 0 physical strength high enough so that he was able to knock down and fight with post-druid Meliodas. Then there's Form 7, Moon Rose, which allows him to instantly heal massive damage from beings as strong or stronger than him, such as Wind Sunshine and Hellblaze damage from Escanor and Meliodas, respectively. However, this technique is limited to 5 uses per battle. Form 9, Death Thorn, is actually really strong, despite rarely being used. It sends multiple sharp thorns as far as an 8-mile radius, and the lightest cut from one of the thorns, which Gloxinia has full control over, cause the affected to cry, spit up, and nosebleed massive amounts of blood and die. It's most likely that the thorns are poisonous, which leads to the instant death despite small cuts. Capping off as Form 10, Emerald Octa, where the Spirit Spear forms larger octopus tentacles that can be used for defense and offense. Those are all the known forms, but he does have more. Gloxinia is able to create a cursed vine tree and a plant copy of Jorharde, his sister, which is superior to the beginning of Series Sins in terms of raw might, being able to compete with Diane, and slow down a post-druid demon Mark Meliodas. The sister copy is able to generate and manipulate plants just like Gloxinia, and can regenerate damage taken, and must be fully destroyed to be defeated. He can also create a massive state of euphoria, being able to manipulate the entire area of the Fairy King's forest, throwing off powerful users like his sister, King, and Diane, off his trail so well that despite their ability to sense commandment tier fighters from hundreds of miles away, Gloxinia went right in there and snatched King Diane, no problem. He also has access to Disaster, most likely an even more refined and powerful version of King's, meaning he can do all the same things that King can do along with the creating and controlling plant life. So that means poison control, wound manipulation, and density manipulation. While Gloxinia does have commandment of repose, its effects have not been shown or told, so it does nothing hacks-wise. Gloxinia is able to fly. As a fairy, he can read the minds and intents of others in battle, giving him access to their thoughts and their next moves. Also, he can nap souls as well, and eat them just like other demons, getting their power memories. And he can spell a person's soul back 3,000 years ago in the past, and the only thing that really holds him back is the fact that he has a limited regeneration drop him out. Droll is weird. Gloxinia was weird, but Droll is weird. By that I mean he seemingly got more out of the commandment buff than Gloxinia did, because he showed enough dark manipulation skills to perform multiple wings for flight. And he can also eat souls like all of the demons, and he can straight up read people's minds, their power level, just by looking at them. He can also discover the techniques and battle plans by simply looking at them and giving him the ability to easily see through plans. Those powers are mainly based on earth manipulation, and that's really it. Could go through all of them, but I'm just going to summarize. He has the diving bolt technique, Giga Crush, Giga Fall, Giga Lock, Giga Pick, Giga Gauntlet, Giga Embrace, and Basic Earth Manipulation. His more advanced techniques are Heavy Metal, one that is even stronger than Diane's, so is able to easily withstand the Hellblaze from post-true Demon Mark Meliodas. Fire that is able to null the regeneration of immortals and can also burn the Fairy King's Forest. A forest has immune to regular fire. You can also create an Earth Golem that is similar to him in raw power, and this golem is trying to survive and outdo True Spirit's pre-training king, an impressive feat on its own. Take this on the fact that he can amp himself even more with his Dance of Droll, slap a time regression spell from the God's Clan that throws a soul through time and space, and you're good. So, yeah, Droll's pretty good hacks-wise. Derriere doesn't have that many hacks at all. She just has her basic demon biology with the soul stealing, the dark matter manipulation, weapons, regeneration, stuff like that. Her ability is called Combo Star, where she just adds 200,000 pounds of force every time she strikes something, but it basically just makes her stronger the more she hits you. So don't get hit too many times. Also, she can activate her Endure transformation as a demon with a power level of over 50,000, and when she does that, she becomes massively stronger. The effect of her commandment is unknown. Speed doesn't have that many hacks, but the ones he does have are rather powerful. He has access to Hellblaze, as one of the best users of it in the demon world, and let's say the verse. This is shown when Estarossa, another powerful Hellblaze user, blasts Speed and does all 0 damage to him. He can create different structures from the fire, one just being a giant dragon that's all of his magic power, another structure being a bird that tracks whoever it locks on to, and burning whatever passes in its wake. Speed also has his basic demon abilities, master regeneration skills, dark matter manipulation, and weapon creation. Then there's Trickstar, allows Speed to take the objects of similar size and switch their places. Finally, he can use the Enduro transformation, which is also ludicrously amps him to insane degrees. Then there's someone I've been saving. Grey Rose seems like a joke, one of the weaker commandments, but she's where the commandments really kick in a really interesting way, as she has access to the commandment of pacifism. This means that you can't kill anything in her presence, or all of your time in life is stolen from you. The big asterisk on this, though, is that people are about to claim this means that the commandments can't kill in her presence either. That's actually false. Estarossa does kill in her presence, and Dreyfus attempts to, neither fearing the repercussions of her curse. And nothing happens to them. Simply the commandments may actually be immune to their fellow commandments' curses. This isn't the only exception either. The next commandment, love, doesn't affect any of the other commandments, who all despise Meliodas, yet are all able to fight. Same case for piety. Basically, even if the Akatsuki get a single kill on the commandments, whether it be Obito, Itachi, or Nagato, they will die moments later. The pain should be fine though. Now, for Guerrero's other hacks. Basic human biology, so dark matter manipulation, soul snatching, magic sensing, and flight. On top of this, she has the capability to wipe a person's 5 senses with an orb that she fires. She can summon bugs that are easy to kill to trigger her commandment. She isn't that strong on her own, but in combination with her smaller abilities and a broken commandment, she's actually pretty set. Estarossa is weird, but his commandment is busted. So let me level with you real quick. His ability is that no one can fight. And that's it. That's his ability. So much for the Akatsuki attacking them. Okay, it's not just that, but this commandment literally prevents anyone who holds hate in their heart with anything from even clenching their fists or holding their weapons. How to talk a fight. So if you want to look me dead in the eyes and tell me that none of the Akatsuki hate anything, I'll have to disagree with you. Nagato and thusly the Pains hate the world as it is, and despise the people of the Hidden Leaf Village for what they did. Obito also hates the world as it is, hates multiple people from Minato to Kakashi to himself, so he also hates things. Itachi may not be affected. Pretty sure he hates Danzo, also himself, and the world he lives in, but sure. Deidara seriously hates the Uchihas, Itachi especially. Sasori hates his village and his people for taking his parents. Kakuzu hates his village and his people. Kyonan hates the same things that Nagato and Pain do, and Hidan, I'm not sure about Hidan. And guess what? That means all those people who have hate in their hearts cannot fight. It doesn't even have to be directed at him. If you are standing in Esterossa's presence and you hate something in your heart, good luck fighting, because it's not happening. Said to some the fact that he's also a demon, so give him regeneration, give him the dark matter manipulation, give him flight, and give him the ability to conjure Hellblaze, the flame that beats immortality, and you're good to go. Also, he has full counter, but it's physical full counter though, and it's not as good as Meliodas' since it needs to seemingly be a pure physical attack that it reflects, and the Akatsuki are really pure hand-to-hand physical fighters. Continuing on, he can manipulate his Hellblaze in the shape of a giant dog, which creates a towering wall of flame by running in a circle. He can also lock away his target in a dark orb strong enough to hold back the mid-morning Escanor's cruel sun. He is strong, and if worse comes to worse, and the commandments start dying left and right, he can just absorb their commandments to buff himself. So here we are, the big alpha dog of the commandments, Zeldris. Okay, let me talk at you real quick. If you thought any of the above characters I mentioned were busted, you'd be right. They're stupid busted, but Zeldris takes the cake. So, you know how people turn their backs, even accidentally, in the middle of a fight? If they accidentally do that to Zeldris, they're instantly subservient to him. So when the battle starts and the two sides are facing each other, once they get running the ones, if an Akatsuki member accidentally turns their back to Zeldris, they're done. They're forced to follow his orders, which could simply be to kill the other Akatsuki. And depending on who he gets with that order, it could be the end of the fight. Regardless, moving on to Zeldris' other broken ability, the Demon King's power. So this magic, gifted from his father, is stupid. Why? Because it knows all magic attacks used against Zeldris. Now, the Demon King's power seems to work on absolutely everything if Zeldris wants it to. From just flat out big magic attacks to even mental manipulation magic, as Gothid didn't even try to help Diane in the Joel's body fight against Zeldris. He did nothing. He instantly ran, and he specializes in mental manipulation magic. Zeldris is able to withstand blasts from his own father. In his ideal body with the Demon King's power, there's nothing on the side of the Akatsuki that could damage or affect Zeldris. Since it can block out Gothid's magic, it's possible it can block any jutsu. To further continue on with Zeldris' craziness, he can cast curses with his Hellblaze victims. Zeldris is also a potent user of a Hellblaze, the black flame that neglects immortal regen. He's also a skilled darkness manipulator, being able to fly, create weapons, and block stuff with his darkness. His greatest skill with darkness is Omnis Nebula, where Zeldris' focuses goes all out, and swirls the darkness around himself so fast and dangerously that the darkness is so dense that it creates a vacuum as it shreds everything it comes in contact with. This stops all physical attacks, and the Demon King's power negates all magic attacks. He can also seal magic as potent as Droll's with a touch, so it's most likely he can seal off any of the Akatsuki like one-tap Byakugan. His major projectile is the SRA, a dark lightning bolt that he can drop on people from miles away. Like every other demon, he can take souls with such and eat them for magic power and knowledge. He can generate at extremely fast speeds and from various wounds. Okay, we've gone over their hacks, their strength, their speed, so what does this battle actually look like? Honestly, it just looks unfair. That's what the battle looks like. Because at the start, most of the Akatsuki aren't going to be able to fight because Esterosa just standing there. Yeah, it's literally just a thing. And for those wondering, well, if you're really, really powerful, can you override Esterosa's commandment? No, you can't. Because Meliodas, in his fight with the Ten Commandments, was about to use Revenge Counter. He was amped so darn much that every commandment, including Monspeed, Derriere, possibly even Zeldris, and every other commandment was absolutely terrified that they were going to die and lose to Meliodas there. They were all terrified, and it's most likely that Meliodas, even though he wasn't base, since of all the damage he absorbed and he was about to fire back, it's possible that he was superior to every single commandment in that moment. Yet, due to the hatred in his heart, as the Demon King explains, he lost his ability to fight. That's how Esterosa just casually stopped him with a hand on the blade. He wasn't able to do it anymore. And all the Akatsuki would be afflicted by that same curse, and none of them would be able to stop it. Most of them probably wouldn't even know what's going on, because unless Esterosa bothered to explain it, they would literally just be confused as they try to stand there and be able to fight, which none of them will be able to do, except for maybe Hedon, because I'm not sure what Hedon hates, if anything. I mean, he just likes murder, so there's that. But you know what? Let's give the Akatsuki the benefit of the doubt. Let's take away one of the main assets the Akatsuki has. Let's take away the love commandment. There's still the pacifism commandment. So if Grey Road just opens up with breakable bugs, and it's just like, alright, go wild. If the bugs fly over to the Akatsuki, Data is going to attack them, Hedon's going to attack them, Konan's going to attack, all the Akatsuki are going to attack them, because it's just going to be nuisances. They're going to be getting in the way, so they're going to all kill them. The bugs are going to die. Maybe Obito wouldn't, because Obito would just avoid them. But if they do that, if they kill any single one of the bugs, they're all going to start just rapidly aging. Hedon, once again, may live, because, he's immortal. But even Kakuzu, the other member of the immortal duo, still going to age. Kisame, still going to age. Itachi, still going to age. They're all just going to age out of their lifespans, and that's going to be the end of the fight for them. And no lie, Hedon versus Ten Commandments isn't a good fight, if I really have to tell you that. If you really believe it is a good fight, I'm sorry, I can't really help you then and there. But you know what? Let's say somehow they even get past that. They just completely ignore the bugs. Let's go with that. As you may have noticed, Zeldris alone blitzes the life out of all the Akatsuki. Even your 73 times light speed Itachi, Zeldris absolutely blitzes in the light meta for 7 deadly sins because he is ludicrously powerful. He scales way above a Crisis Amp original demon as he was able to fight with Sunshine Mael, and he was able to do this with no commandment. So you give him a commandment which amps his power even further as shown with Esterosa, and then the Akatsuki are kind of just done. If Zeldris is just like, hey yo, hold on, I got this, and he charges into the battle, and he just starts slitting people's throats open, or he just starts decapitating people, or he just activates Omnis Nebula and tells Mulaski to get everyone away, everybody dying. Even Obito, who would probably be the person to phase out immediately, because he could probably. I'll give you Koski credit. They probably all be able to tell what threats the Ten Commandments are just by looking at them and sensing their high magic levels. But they won't be able to do much about it because guess what? The moment they turn to run or to back up and try to think, if they even turn their backs and insta Zeldris, bam, piety's gonna kick in and they're all gonna be subservient to Zeldris, meaning they lose the fight. Seriously, these commandments just run in and jack everything up for the Akatsuki. And here's the thing. Let's say we just ignore all the commandments, even though, that is a huge facet of the Ten Commandments. It's in their title. The raw power gap is not going to do good for them. The raw power gap and the raw haxed difference. Like, seriously. One, no, two, including the human path and Nagato, out of, I think, 15 Akatsuki members that are going to be chilling on the battlefield, are able to take out souls. On the other hand, every single member of the Ten Commandments takes out souls for breakfast. Quite literally, it's what they eat. So, and they do this with no more than a touch. This isn't no tug of war. This isn't no oh, I'm gonna resist you. This is a, oops, I got my hand on you. Looks like I'm taking your soul now. Thanks for dinner. And then that's it. And even for the more difficult ones, Melascula can just start her chant. It was able to rip out Meliodas' soul. So I'm pretty sure that it's going to be able to rip out any of the Akatsuki's soul. So that's really it for that. And here's the thing. Like, let's say Sasori uses the dance of 100 Puppets Jutsu, right? Hellblaze. It's as simple as that. Like, they'll just looks at that and it's just like, all right, that's a pretty cool trick you got there. Nice birthday party trick. Let me just light it all on fire, and he just immediately does that. Like, it's not uncommon for characters to throw out Hellblaze, and if you want to say, well, then Nagato and the Praetor Path would take advantage of that and leap into the fire. Well, the moment that Zelda senses, the one that any of the commandments honestly sense that Nagato is doing something weird, like absorbing their Hellblaze, are either going to cancel it out themselves, or they're going to lunge for Nagato and attempt to kill him before he can get any stronger. And this is not out of character. Zeldris himself straight up says that he is not like his brother. He does not play around. Zeldris does not play. He's going to run in and he's going to kill you violently if it need be. Always with his full power. Whether they be an ant or a lion, he is ready to fight, and he proves it. Almost every time we've seen Zeldris fight with the intent to kill, he's out with the intent to kill. He doesn't play around. That's what Zeldris does. And even for the commandments that do play around, like Galen, for all the low tiers in the Akatsuki, like your Konans, your Zetsu, who I just completely forgot to mention in the earlier part, because Zetsu also is pretty darn relevant, no offense, but like, unless you want to wank him to Jubidara level, because he was on Obito's body, sure, then maybe he wins. But if we're taking the regular Zetsu that I'm thinking of, the weakest member of the Akatsuki, yeah, it's not working out for him either. But like, you take your Zetsus, you take your Konans, you take your Hidans, even the weakest members of the commandments, Fraudrin and Galen, are just casually smacking them. And they're smacking even more characters too. They're smacking some of the mid tiers in the Akatsuki pretty darn casually. They are smacking most of the pains. They are smacking or they may not be smacking Kisame, but they're relative to Kisame. And then Critical Overgallon pretty much casually slaps Kisame. Like that's no joke. And then when it comes to the high tiers versus the high tiers, like this is where the real fight is. Like, I could see Itachi. Itachi would have a good fight with like any high tier you put him against, unless it's Zeldris. Because Zeldris just negs Itachi entirely. Like, Zeldris actually negs Itachi's entire moveset, and it's pretty sad because Zeldris negs everyone's entire moveset. But like, here's a good fight I could see. I could see Itachi versus Monspeed being a fantastic fight that Itachi could actually win. Sure, Monspeed has the drastic speed advantage, even thanks to the light meta for Yeah, thanks to the light meta for Seven Deadly Sins. But you know what? Let's just say they're relative. Let's just say they're equal. I could literally see this fight being some of the most high IQ stuff Itachi has ever had to pull off because Monspeed will still be ludicrously stronger than him. So I could literally see Itachi being like, okay, so I can't fight this guy outside of Susanoo, so I have to immediately activate the Susanoo. All right, I'm going to have to try and get this guy for Tsukuyomi. And it'll literally just be Itachi thinking, and Monspeed would just be like, when you gonna die though? And it's gonna be that like that is a high level fight I would actually really want to watch. Cause that's gonna be like the only good fight in the Akatsuki. Cause here, before I get back to the Itachi versus Monspeed fight, let me run through every hypothetical fight, like rank by rank. Um, they hit it right here. Fraudulent versus Hedon. The fight's a stomp. Fraudulent may be weak, but he's only weak in terms of the other high tier commandments. He's still pretty casually an island level threat that can snatch your soul, go full size, fly, regenerate, do all that good stuff that Hedon wouldn't just be able to handle. The moment Fraudulent gets wind of Hedon being even remotely dangerous, he just touches him, and then Hedon's soul is popping out, and then Hedon's immobile. And worst comes to worst, and Fraudulent thinks, oh, well, I may not actually be able to beat this guy in some universe. Let me just possess him real quick. Not to say that Hedon doesn't have a pretty strong will, but Hedon doesn't have a pretty strong will. So suddenly you're going to have Fraudulent possessing Hedon's body. And there you go. That's the end of that fight. Then you got like Gallon versus Conan. Gallon, you know what? Let's double up. Gallon versus Conan and Zetsu. It would be speed blitz murder. Like it's unfair to it's unfair for both of them because Gallon would literally just be toying around. But the thing with Gallon toying around is Gallon toying around is slicing open the ground for miles. Gallon toying around is swinging his weapon once and is vapor annihilating half a city. Gallon toying around is too dangerous. He's regularly island level, possibly large island level, possibly small country level if you really want to use, and since we're really using Prime Pass Gallon, he's a monster that is way faster than Conan and such you could ever even dream of. They're barely pushing on relativistic light speed while in even in the light meta for Naruto, and Gallon's out here toying with not toying with fighting against relativistic archangels in the regular meta and then being 27 times faster than light in the light speed meta. It's unfair for them. And worse comes to worse, just like before, he runs up and tags them and he's eating their souls for dinner. Then like the next fight you'd probably have is like I'd have to say like Gloxinia versus Kakuzu. I could actually see this being a real interesting fight if the speed gap wasn't there. But let's say the speed gap isn't there. Let's just be nice. Let's give the Akatsuki the full benefit of the doubt. Let's just ignore speed for these weaker, lower contestants. I could see this fight being really good, except that Gloxinia would just be too powerful, too diverse, and in the end, Kakuzu would just get outplayed and outmaneuvered because Gloxinia has a free 100% air movement. He has the Spirit Spear. He can summon assistance with the Plant Servants and the Jumanji Cursed Tree. He can literally just control the battlefield so well, literally with his plant manipulation. And like I said, one cut he gets on Kakuzu, and then that's a snap from a distance, and suddenly Kakuzu's whole arm is blown open. And if you want to count like Kakuzu's stitches as already pre-made wounds that Gloxinia could tear open, then that's even worse for Kakuzu because that's just a brutal rip. And I could honestly see nothing that Kakuzu has like truly pressuring Gloxinia that hard. Because Gloxinia's just dealt with worse. He's dealt with Demon Marpos, Druid Meliodas. He's dealt with Chandler. He's dealt with some monsters. And he's been perfectly fine. While Kakuzu was like matched by Kakashi. Pre-war Kakashi. Like actual war Kakashi is a monster. But like pre-war Kakashi and a base Rasen Shuriken Naruto. No offense to either of those characters, but they are not Gloxinia tier, who's in the small country level tiers of power and massively faster than Ace Light Speed beginning of series Diane in both the light meta and many times faster than Shrunken beginning of series Diane in the regular meta too. So it just isn't working out for Kakasu either. So then you have Droll versus Datara, another really cool fight that I would love to see if the speed gap wasn't there. So we're gonna remove the whole speed gap thing. But I think what makes this fight so interesting is that since both are Earth users, they're literally just gonna keep messing with one another. But the only thing is that Droll has like complete control over the Earth. Data's explosions are just based off Earth Jutsu. So I could see like Droll being interested for a bit and like dancing around, quite literally, with Datara just to see what he can do. But the moment like he even starts like Datara even looks like he's about to do something dangerous, like something like C0-ish or something like that, or like the microscopic bombs, Joel's literally just gonna ground him and snatch his soul just like that. This fight's gonna be over really fast because that's what Joel would do. And he could just contain the explosion if he really wanted to. So there's that fight. So moving on, then we got like Melaskila versus Soxery. I feel like this would also be a really cool fight. No speed gap involved because both are really technically just puppet users. It's just that Melaskila uses the dead and Soxery uses actual puppets. Once again, the soul snatching thing from Melaskila comes in, the cocoon of darkness, and if Sasori actually messes up and like brings out like, haha, watch this. I'm going to use my dance of 100 puppets. Monster is just going to be like, I vengeful soul reincarnation, and suddenly all those souls that are going to be regretting dying to Sasori are going to be flooding back into their bodies and turning on Sasori. That's going to be enough of a distraction for Molaski to just trap him in the cocoon and snatch his soul. So yeah, that fight doesn't work out well for Sasori either. Going onwards, Kisame versus Derriere would actually be really, really cool to watch just because Derriere isn't like a tactical genius. She just punches things really hard. And Kisame wouldn't be able to take that all too well because that's what Guy did. Guy punched things really hard and Kisame lost to him. It didn't matter how tactically smart that Kisame was. So it'll literally be kind of like the 7th Gate Guy versus um, Kisame thing, where it's literally just Derriere pounding into the water lake over and over and over again, and then that would really be it. Like, I could easily see her just diving straight through it with her wings, because she was able to punch straight through an active grace. She was able to punch through Sario's active tornado grace. I'm pretty sure a lake of water wouldn't be that much trouble for her. And also, she wouldn't really feed Samehada and Kisame anything, so that wouldn't really work out in Kisame's favor. Back to Monspeed versus Itachi. This would be a really interesting fight, especially if Susano is out and like the speed is almost equal and stuff like that. Because it literally just be Monspeed like waiting for an opening for the Itachi, maybe stalling him out and stuff like that, dropping down things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, finding out about the Yadamir. And this may sound like really weird, but I could very easily see Monspeed never getting tagged by the Tosca Blade, but in the event that he does, he uses Conjurer's Joke and switches places with Itachi, and then Itachi is forced to shut down the Susanoo, lest he himself gets sealed inside the gourd. So, like, that would be a really intense fight, but I could see Itachi winning it with, like, a combination of Genjutsu into Tosca Blade if he can. This is if Monspeed decides to stay on the ground, where Itachi can still tag him with the Tosca Blade, where Monspeed is a ranged fighter. So honestly, that is an interesting fight. I could see it going either way. So that's like one in favor of the Akatsuki, kind of. That's more like a 50-50 in my mind. The Six Paths to Pain and Nagato versus Estarossa and Grey Road. So Grey Road would literally just be playing support while Estarossa kind of runs in and manhandles Nagato. Yeah, that literally be it. Because the pacifism wouldn't work on the pains because they're already dead. They don't have any more time. Their bodies couldn't decay any more than they already have. And I can literally just see Estarossa figuring out the Renegade abilities one by one and just slowly gaining an understanding of them. he'd be having a blast doing it too. He'd be like, "Oh, these powers you have are really interesting. Oh, you call this one the Shinra Tensei? All right, go ahead, try and push me back." It's just that the gap in power between the two is so much that I literally couldn't see Nagato pulling off something that drastic as to beat Estarossa, especially with Grey Road's constant support in the back, which is probably going to be sending out 5 lost and probably going to be using the chains of resentment. All these things just pin Nagato down for Estarossa to come in and either just snatch his soul or kill him. And the Pains are kind of just getting chopped in half. Like, the Pains used to be really cool and powerful when they were introduced, but like, in comparison to a lot of the Ten Commandments, they're not much. Moving on to like the final big fight, I'd say like Zeldris versus Obito would be super uber duper hype because I can see Obito trying everything in his power to try to like physically touch Zeldris, but Zeldris would constantly be on that hold up, I sent you, and just be swinging his blade around. Like Obito would constantly being forced to phase back out into the comedy dimension, and it would literally just be like this intense game of cat and mouse where it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like Obito tries to slide for an opening, but then Zeldris activates Omnis Nebula, something like that, for an instant, and then he draws Obito in to get sliced away. But Obito ends up warping into the comedy dimension just barely in the nick of time. And it's going back and forth and back and forth. But I feel like Zeldris will be able to win the confrontation just because he is faster than Obito in the light meta and in the regular meta. So one slip up on Obito's part leads to his death and an Izanagi use, while one slip up on Zeldris' part leads to like at worst a lost limb, and Zeldris can fight without a limb, so he's fine in that scenario. But I do admit that fight would be pretty intense. But worst comes to worst, all the other Akatsuki members are gonna have handled their threats, except for like maybe Itachi and maybe Nagato, and then Zeldris has 7 other fighters all ready and willing to come and help him jump Obito. And not gonna lie, Obito isn't gonna deal that well with that much pressure from beings that are faster, almost as fast or faster than him, or around the same speed, and just as powerful, if not more powerful than him, all ganging up on him. It's not a good look for Obito. So yeah, if you want to say teamwork though, I'll admit like the commandments don't have as good synergy as the 7 deadly sins do, but it doesn't really matter because they don't really need it in this fight, and neither do the Akatsuki. The Akatsuki don't have good synergy either. Once again, the commandments know how to work with one another and use their abilities in tandem to work and stack on top of one another, while the Akatsuki would just keep hurting themselves with Shinra Tensei's, Chibaku Tensei's, all their 6 billion paper bomb, ocean, C-Zeros, all this stuff would just end up hurting the Akatsuki more than it would be end up helping them. So yeah, this doesn't end up working well for them. Worst case scenario for the commandments? No. Honest case scenario for the commandments. Most of them can't fight and they automatically lose because of love. Estarossa being there. They all hate something. Except for maybe Hion. I literally just couldn't think of something that Hion would hate. So yeah. That's really that. They wouldn't be able to fight because of Estarossa being love. Or they would mess up and kill one person or kill the bugs that Guerrero would send out and they would die from that. It just isn't gonna work out. Not okay. Straight up, honestly, the Akatsuki lose 9 out of 10 times. No joke. No offense to the high tier Akatsuki members, but they're more comparable to the mid tiers than they are to the high tiers in the commandments. Seriously, the strongest attack for the Akatsuki is country level, and that's from some wank from a calc I didn't even bother to check. I just saw country level Nagato and just like, sure, whatever. But like I said, transform Monspeed, transform Derriere, Estarossa, and Zeldris all slap country level characters for fun. It's not a problem for them. And it's just that the hacks aren't really that good on the Akatsuki side in comparison to the commandments, who all have these basic sets of hacks. Like the soul stealing, the regen, and the dark matter are all fantastic hacks that all the Akatsuki cannot deal with, and that 8 out of the 10 commandments all have. Just naturally. And then you stack on their other hacks on top of that. It just doesn't look good for them. And the closest thing that could possibly win them this fight is Kamui. But even then, Kamui wouldn't work because there are multiple commandments. So, yeah, that's really it. Oh, but let me mention, if you're wondering, wait, why didn't you mention Orochimaru in this one at all? Well, I try to use a more mainstream Akatsuki than I did in the last video. I know Nagato shouldn't even be here either, but I wanted to give Akatsuki the best chance that I could. And honestly, I'm not even using the best members of the Ten Commandments, because if I really wanted to, I could throw in a Prime Meliodas, a doll Gother, and an actual Gother as well to try and even up the numbers gap. But then that would be just be an absolute stomp, because then Meliodas would have the love commandment, and then, hate to say it, but a Prime Meliodas is stronger than a Prime Zeldris, and a Prime Zeldris is continental and slapping other country level characters, so it would not be a good look for the Akatsuki if I were to truly use them. So now, that's my verdict. Akatsuki lose 9 out of 10 times. There are some situations where they win, like Obito manages to snag Zeldris, and then Itachi somehow goes around and Totsuka blades every other commandment, because sure, why not? But yeah, my money is 9 out of 10 times on the commandments winning in the fight. So, I have to say, sorry for the delay. Researching this was painful, editing this was painful, looking for people to discuss this with beforehand was painful, but now it's here. Hope you enjoyed. The next video, or the next versus battle specifically, is also going to be another thing I want to clear up. And I know another, probably like some other big YouTubers may have already talked about this, or someone else may have already talked about this, but I want to talk about it, and I most likely will. It is my next versus battle is going to be Minato, a yellow flash of the Hidden Leaf, versus the Akatsuki. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off.